Hello students, welcome back to another learning video on CUET MA English entrance exam preparation. I have solved passage-based questions from previous year question papers. I'm attaching all the links in the description box given below. You may check out and see it all for yourself, the kind of questions that appeared in our previous year question papers. Also, on that note, before I begin to join our CUET English entrance classes, you may call or WhatsApp us at 8865028865 or log on to finlandacademy.com for any information related to our courses. So we run full-fledged courses on CUET English entrance exam preparation. Right, I'm not going to waste more time on it. I'm going to quickly begin analyzing our previous year question paper. So I'm not going to solve the entire question paper. I've released a lot of other videos. You can check out the description box. I'm attaching all the links out there. But I will be solving other important questions from previous year question paper and question papers as well. Okay, I want you to look at this question, which is your very first question, something coming up from British history, from modern literature, which I always say, I always repeat in my classes. Modern literature happens to be one of the most important elements, one of the most important parts when you're covering your British history. Out of all the periods, everything from modernism, from modern literature is important. So look at your first question, your very first question, which of the following books has not been written by Virginia Woolf? Right. Of course, it's A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, which is by James Joyce, where your character Stephen happens to be the major character. So something like this, a question like this, and it could be anything, and not just this, but of course anything from any writer. So I always tell my students that covering writers from modern literature is very, very essential. Now let's look at another type of question where you are provided lines and you're supposed to identify lines from an important piece of work. It could be a drama piece, it could be a poetry piece, it could be a book, it could be anything important, but something important definitely. So April is the cruelest month, something as simple as this, which comes from The Wasteland. I'll show you more such questions from your previous year question paper. The trend remains the same. Now look at this another important piece where you again have some important set of lines from an important piece of work, like I said. The rest to some faint meaning make pretense. This one is from Macbeth now. Right, so we have a very, very similar question again, running in the same trend, in the same question paper. Look at this. Now see, another question, very similar question from the same question paper, running in the same trend. We again have an important line from an important piece. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, which is from very first lines from The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot. And T.S. Eliot, again, like I said, when we were looking at Virginia Woolf, happens to be your important modern writer. And that's why I constantly repeat in all my sessions, in all my videos, in all my classes, why studying modern literature, and that too smartly, okay? Not like you're studying every single thing. That's not going to work, right? Studying the most important elements, the most important writers, not just, reading them and just, taking a book and going by, okay, this writer has written this work and that writer has written that work. Not like that, but really understanding their context and why they are saying certain things. What was the environment that influenced them? And so why modern literature becomes the modern literature as we call it, or as we know it, or as we understand it, right? So these kind of questions you must be asking when you are studying modern literature, and that's why studying it smartly is very, very important, right? Alright, now you have another typeset where you are supposed to match list 1 with list 2. You want to look at your list 1, you have your works one side, you have your writers the other side. And in such kind of questions, your examiner's only motive is to check your general understanding of important works, important writers, important dates. That's all. Your general understanding of all the important aspects coming from the field of English literature, that's your writer's motive. That's all. Look at it. List 1, The Death of the Author. Very important work by Rolla Barthes. A Room of One's Own. Another important work by Virginia Woolf. Course in General Linguistics. The moment the term linguistics hit, should be food and Andy Ashore in your mind. What is an author? It's Michael Foucault. So something like this, where your only eligibility is your general understanding of the important aspects. That's all. Right. So let's look at other typeset. All right, now so this is your another type set where you get two statements, and on the basis of statements you get four options, and then you're supposed to cross check the correct option. You can look at this particular question for reference, wherein you have one statement one which says poetry according to Plato is thrice removed from reality. Two says poetry according to Plato is the mother of all lies. And then on the basis of these two statements we have four options, and then we're supposed to cross check the correct one. This particular question is solved in my previous video with detailed explanation. You can check out the link. I'm providing the link in the description box, which is given below. I thought of coming up with a separate video on such kind of questions, which are specifically your statement based questions, because they require a lot of explanation, detailed explanation for your better understanding. So I'm going to come up with a separate video on this, since we saw a lot of statement based questions from your previous year question paper as well, and the other question papers as well. But in this one as well, we got, I think, approx 5 to 6 statement based questions. So I think we'll come up with a separate video on that. So apart from all such questions, we have our another type set, which is our passage based questions. So we get long passages here, and sometimes it can be a short passage or a middle length passage as well. So you can take a look here. This is the passage, and then on the basis of the passage that you are given, you get a question, and then on the basis of the question you have four options. So here we have approximately 5 questions. So these are the kind of questions that we have gotten in the form of fill in the blanks, or let's say just simple questions which check your basic understanding of the passage, or sometimes questions like these where you are supposed to match list 1 with list 2. It could be anything. So the major motive of your examiner is to just check your basic understanding of things. That's all. And this particular passage that I just showed you here, this one we've solved in a previous video with detailed explanation of each and every question along with the options and everything. So you can check out the video for your reference for complete understanding of the passage. And then apart from this, we've also gotten another passage. This is the other passage that we got in our previous year question paper. And then you can look at the length of the passage, and then on the basis of the passage we again have some questions here. So that's how it looks, right? We are going to maybe make another video on this passage as well, and then we'll try giving you explanations there as well. On that note, to join our CUET English entrance classes, you may call or WhatsApp us at 8865028865, or log on to finlandacademy.com for any information related to our courses. Thank you for joining me. I will see you soon in our next video session.